Good morning, everyone. Morning, TikTok. Morning, YouTube. Morning, Facebook. Happy Halloween, everybody. It is Friday, the 31st of October. Are we all good? Let me know. Tell me what is going on. Hopefully, the scales didn't scare you this morning if you jumped on them. It is Fri-Weigh. Fri-Weigh means check-in day. I was going to say for half my clients. It isn't check-in day for half my clients because this is quite, I say quite a check-in day actually. I've just got on my WhatsApp. It's looking a bit manic. It's looking a bit busy. It's not as busy. Manic check-in days last week. But it is still looking, a little bit busy out there. But anyway, I've not done any check-ins yet. I have been, where have I been? I've been to the gym this morning. So just smashed the gym in. What else have I done today? No, that's it. Just smashed the gym in, got back, eating a massive yogurt bowl. Been having to doing a few bits and pieces, actually, sorting a few bits of washing out. Life admin. I was like, hellfire, it's 9:45. I need to get on a live. So I've come on a live, and then it's just a day of tucking into those check-ins that I have got in this morning. Let's do a top 5 on TikTok. Lou's in at number 1, Faye's in at number 2, Callum's in at number 3, Maureen is in at number 4, and Kirsty's in at number 5. Good morning, guys. You're on my top 5 on TikTok this morning. Thank you very much for jumping on board, coming and saying hello straight away. Caroline's in. Good morning. Kelly C. Good morning. Regan. Good morning. Anna. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're all well. What are you all doing for what's everyone doing for Halloween? What is the plan? What is the plan for Halloween? What's everyone up to? I'll tell you what I'm doing. Absolutely nothing. I'm doing absolutely jot all. I'm gonna shut the curtains. I'm gonna see what the weather's like. We don't get any trick-or-treaters. We live down a little lane. Every person that lives on our lane, other than me and Rach, is pretty much. Is everyone retired? No, that's wrong to say that everyone's. We have had there are probably, I think there's 14 houses on my lane spread over about a kilometre, right? And I think 2 of the houses, probably 2, maybe 3, still work. Other than that, everyone's retired. And yeah, kids just don't bother coming down here. You go around the States and stuff, don't you? There's no point spreading out a kilometre for 14 houses where you can do 14 houses in a row on an estate. So we don't get any trick-or-treaters. In fact, we used to have, and they're all well grown up now, a house across the road from us, a bit further down. They had 5 kids, and they used to come trick-or-treating years ago. They're now all well in their 30s of those kids. So, but we don't get any trick-or-treaters whatsoever, which is good because it just winds the dogs up. Though we do every year, we tend to just shut the curtains, shut everything down, and then we just leave a bowl on a little table at the front with a load of sweets in. They're always there in the morning when we come out. No one ever comes down, but just in case. So if you do know where I live and you want some free sweets, come down. There'll be a bowl at the front of the house this morning. Later on. House full of kids followed by peace for us mums when they head out trick-or-treating. Yeah, it's proper become a proper thing, hasn't it, Halloween in the UK? Like, I know it's always been a massive holiday in America. Like, they absolutely love it in America. And, of course, it's just a commercial thing, isn't it? But from like August, there was like loads of Halloween stuff, and you see a lot more like houses now that proper decorate themselves and put loads of bits and pieces. I've been not a bar humbug because it's Halloween. What would you call someone that doesn't do Halloween? And normally I do. I've not even done. I normally carve a couple of, like I say, normally what we do, I normally carve a couple of pumpkins, put some lights in them, stick a bowl of sweets out the front, and this and that. I've done absolutely sod all this year. I've done nothing. I bought some Halloween sweets and eaten them, but I've not actually done anything for Halloween. Anyway, I think what it is, I just like getting Halloween out of the way. Get Halloween out of the way. Get bonfire night out of the way. Get into November. Then you know what it is. don't wanna. She's coming. She's on her way. She'll be in the shops this week. You know it. Yeah, so I think that's kind of what it is. And we hate this time of year because Betty absolutely fireworks scare the living daylights out of her. Only when we're in the house. It's really weird. If we're out walking and they're going off, and it happened about a week ago. We were walking. It was about 7:00 at night. Why? There were just some random fireworks, probably kids that have got them or something. Fireworks going off, and we're like, "Oh God, fireworks going off! You're right, Betty." And she's just like, "Yeah, I'm fine." When she's in the house, so I don't know if it's just something about. Well, it must be something about being in the house, not being able to see what's going on, or do they sound worse in the house, or it's just she's always, I don't know. But when fireworks, she's the same with thunder. If there's thunder and lightning, walking the dog if it ever thunders, walking out, but in the house. So we hate this time of year just for her because it's just not nice what she like. Honestly, when I say she absolutely cacks her pants, she absolutely cacks her pants. She just turns into this quivering wreck, and you can see the fear in her eyes. It's heartbreaking. Anyway, I'm doing the same. We don't get any trick or treaters. Yeah, just shut yourself down. It's lovely, isn't it? Morning, just sent over my check-in as you were going live. Yes, I will get stuck into. I've started doing that on Fridays now. I used to sort of, when Rachel worked from home, like worked for us, I used to get up in the morning, get stuck into check-ins, and then we go to the gym at about 8:30, 9-ish, train, then come back and get stuck in. Now Rachel needs to be back for 9 for work. We go to the gym. We leave for the gym about 7:15, get to the gym just after 7:30, train for an hour, and then might nip into Aldi on the way home. Didn't today, actually. And then we come home. Then I do a live. Then I just sort of then it's just, I used to, it used to not annoy me. I don't know what the word is. I used to find it overwhelming. When I logged onto my WhatsApp and I've got 40 unread messages, 40 check-ins, I used to find it a bit overwhelming. I don't anymore. I genuinely don't. I just get my head in and get stuck into them. So I don't mind just leaving them. And then you guys that are on the challenge, this is sort of, again, what I've started to do with, I'll tick off all the normal check-ins, as it were, just standard check-ins coming in, bam, 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 get through all those. And then once I've done all those, or when I get to a point where there's 6 or 7 or 8 challenge check-ins at the bottom of the list, I'll then mix it up and get into the challenge check-ins. But yeah, I'll stick YouTube on. I'll get my iPad out. I don't actually know where my iPad is. I'll get my iPad out. I'll stick YouTube on, or I'll stick it on telly. Let's just give you see now. I've got a load of washing, a dartboard, and my TV's just there. So I'll stick YouTube on telly. Put the overlap on, probably listen to that in the background, and then just chip away at check-ins for the day. We're in now. We've done all our bits and pieces. We've just said that the other walking dogs. We're not leaving the house. And again, this time of year, just watching Betty. Again, she's not really too bothered about the fireworks out and about, but we do tend to just in case it did scare her. We tend to get the dogs walked. Not necessarily before it goes dark. That's quite hard this time of year, isn't it? But certainly by about 6 o'clock, something like that. Anyway, there you go. That's my plans for today. I've checked it again, so I'm back to my normal week, but I don't need feedback, just a weight log. Are you sure, Vanna? I don't mind. So you're going to check in then in 2 weeks. That's all good for me. I'll have a look. If it needs feedback in, I'll give you some feedback. All right. I've had a good result again today. Thanks to you, Neil. Oh, brilliant, Maureen. That's great to hear. You're having a superb journey. Right, let me... I'm resisting the urge to crack out Bublé. I know. It is. And I absolutely love the Michael Bublé Christmas album. I really, really do. And we just love Christmas. We absolutely love it. We eat, breathe. It's like it keeps us going for the next 2 months. So I've been on We Are Christmas. I bought myself some new Christmas lights. I'm trying to find, does anyone know, right? If anyone lives around my area, they're so expensive, right? This is what it is, right? So I want 2 conifers for the front of my house, to go in tubs, to go right, like you'd have either side of a front door, right? Does anyone know a mail order place that does them? right? Or does anyone know a garden centre that's not going to have my absolute pants down around Lancashire where I can get? Because like I went to a garden centre the other day and I was like, they look good. That's what I want. £250 each for like a 4 foot conifer tree, not even in a pot, just a 4 foot conifer tree, like in a cone shape. Because I want two to go to the front of the house to put Christmas lights in. And I want them all year round. I'm not, conifers are for life, not just for Christmas. But like, where can does anyone know anywhere in Lancashire? I don't mind driving if it's and I know trees aren't cheap, so I'm like 100 quid each is what I'm willing to invest, But like 500 quid for 2 trees, I'm like, absolutely no chance. I'm on OMAD. If I'm seeing slow weight loss, should I continue? What do you class as slow weight loss? Weight loss should be slow and steady. Right? It should be healthy and sustainable. What do you class as slow weight loss? And why are you doing OMAD? Someone else came on yesterday that was doing OMAD. Like, why? What? When calories are matched, it doesn't matter when you eat. So stop starving yourself. A lot of people that do OMAD eat quite a large meal in one hit, like 1,500, 2,000 calories in one hit, right? Why not eat 500 calorie meals? You'll get the same results, but you're not starving yourself for 24 hours a day, or 23 hours a day. Yeah. Peter P, good morning. Good morning, mate. Hope you're all good. Anyway, does anyone no one's chirping up where you can buy cheap trees from? There's no such thing, Neil. Trees are expensive. Like conifers, or is it Lelandais or that? I just want 2 trees to go in a pot. I don't want. Someone said I was talking to a mate the other day. He was like, just go and buy 2 Christmas trees when they come out. I'm like, yeah, but I want them actually as a feature in the front of my house all year round. But I just want them now so I can put Christmas lights in them. Something a little bit. I've got a new idea for me Christmas lights theme. That's all. I'm gonna do. I will put pictures on when I've done all my Christmas lights. The pictures never do Christmas lights justice. They really, really don't. Yeah. Right. Let me scan down and see if I have missed anything. I don't think I have. Anyway, it's Friday. We are proper at the business end of the week. We're also at the danger part of the week where we can destroy our weight loss journey in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Not our journey, but our weight loss week. So many of us, really good through the week, routine, weekend comes, bang, everything gets chucked out of the window. Got to remember, 7 days in a week, not 5. But the way I coach weight loss is we bank calories during the week, and that then gives us some extra flexibility and freedom at the weekend. It doesn't mean we can't go crazy. It doesn't mean we can go absolutely crazy. It doesn't mean we should stop tracking and just do that. Yeah, I'm not going to track this weekend, but I'm going to be a bit more mindful. Those are one of the most scariest set of words for a weight loss coach you will ever hear. Because, and I'm not saying every now and then that doesn't work. So I might say when I go all inclusive on holiday, I go on holiday all inclusive, but I do occasionally try and be a bit more mindful. What do I class as being a bit more mindful? I still eat 6,000 calories a day on holiday. I just try not to eat 8,000 calories a day. So, I still go off the charts with the calories, and it's all good. I don't mind doing that. That's what it's all about. But how do I see app week view on? It doesn't really matter. To be fair, it doesn't really matter. To be fair, but I'm just looking at my weight loss week, and it's been really good. I have fully tracked today. Right, I have fully tracked today. So we're all good. Everything that I'm going to eat today is based on what I'm saying is in my. No, it's not. No, it's not. You lying little devil. Everything I'm eating today will soon be in my app. Oh, it might not be in yet. Hang on. Basically, I've got one more thing to do for worth the calories, but it doesn't look like it will be in the app. But I don't know how to search for it. Let me have a scan through here. I'll have to scan it anyway, and I could just quick add it because I know the protein, and right, let me just quick add it. I know the protein, I know the calories, and that's the only thing I want to go in, really. Yeah, I put a picture on the other day of the Snickers high protein shake that I've got. So there's two new, Mars have brought out two new protein shakes, a Mars one and a Snickers one. Last month, the Mars one was in the Boshy protein box. This month, the Boshy protein box is a surprise. It's meant to be a mystery box, but this month, the Snickers one I've got in. I bought them all together last month, Mars and the Snickers one. Anyway, I'm going to try. I didn't try the Mars one last month. Any good? Let me know. If you say it's rubbish, just keep it to yourself. But yeah, I didn't try the Mars one, but I'm going to try the Snickers one today. I'm going to review it for worth the calories. It looks superb, and I absolutely love. Oh, there we go. I've got app week view. I've got it. I'm on it now. Right, so I put that in. So as it stands, I fully tracked today. I will. So once you've tracked and put everything in your app for the day, your app then simply becomes your menu to stick to for weight loss, for your calories today. So I have basically got, this is my eating today. Let me just get out of my wheat view. So I have had a whey whip bowl, which was unbelievable. 30 grams of cookie dough, the Perform cookie dough protein powder in yogurt. When you do it the way I do it with my whey whip, holy smokes, it's so good. So I've done a cookie dough whey whip with 50 grams of blueberries mixed into it, and then 25 grams of cereal granola, 75 grams of strawberries, 10 grams of peanut butter on top, 436 calories. For lunch, I've got one portion. I've eaten it every day. It's so good. I've got one portion left of my creamy tomato, red pepper, and bacon soup, which was the recipe this week. One portion left. I'm having that with 2 slices of Jason's sourdough, 3 boiled eggs, and 2 bacon medallions. So I'm kind of having like a deconstructed bacon and egg sandwich with a portion of soup. That's what I fancy. 646 calories, 55 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber. Afternoon snack, I'm having that high protein Snickers shake. For tea tonight, we are having 200 grams of gammon, lean gammon, all the fat cut off. Half a packet. We were meant to have this for tea last night, but actually we didn't. We ended up having a bit more of a convenience tea last night. Half a pack of the buffalo ricotta and spinach ravioli from Aldi, the specially selected one. And then I'm going to take some red onion and peppers. And I've got this idea from making the soup this week, because I basically, to make the soup, you kind of roast tomatoes, red pepper, and red onion in a big baking tray, and it just adds so much flavor. It's lovely. It caramelizes a little bit. You get some little crispy burnt bits. So it's really, really good. And I was like, do you know what? That just as it is would be a great little side dish for some pasta or something like that. So anyway, I'm just going to roast, just do it in the air fryer. Some slices. I've got a red pepper, and I'm going to get a couple of red onions, slice them up, and just do them in the air fryer with run a little bit of oil through them, and then serve that on the side of my pasta and my gammon. Right, and I'm also having 1 slice of the Carlos garlic bread. We get slice these things. 749 calories. So that's 64 grams of protein and 7 grams of fiber again. And then in bed tonight, got a protein bar and a bag of pop chips. There you go. That is today's eating. 2,295 calories. 210 grams of protein, 25 grams of fiber, 47 grams of sugar, 29 grams of saturated fat. Absolutely tick, tick, tick. Not that I track any macros, but overall, I do look at my overall diet and make sure I keep things in line. Anyway, there we go. So for this week, going into this weekend, I have banked 2,283 calories. What have we got going on this weekend? Not a lot. Taking my niece out. Can't believe my niece is 16 on Tuesday. We're taking her out for Sunday lunch. She likes going to the cake. Do you know the takeaway pubs? Like, you know, the pubs that have the massive slices of Mars cake and the great big chocolate eclairs like that. She loves going to those sort of places. So we're just taking her there for lunch on Sunday. We're just going to go and have a carvery and then get a great big whacking piece of cake. So That'll be relatively calorific, but other than that, we've got nothing else on. So it should be another decent weight loss week this week. I'm aiming to. I'm not actually that bothered about being under my ideal deficit this week. I've done it 2 weeks in a row. If I am, I am. But the last 2 weeks, I've been like, first 2 weeks of coming back from holiday, I'm like, I want to be under my ideal deficit. This week, I'm not too bothered, right? I'm generally not. As long as I'm in a deficit, within my ideal deficit, if that makes sense. So as long as the number's green at the end, that's my goal. So whether I'm 10 calories under or 500, but I won't eat for the sake of eating. It's something I've really changed this year. The top bar says Wheat View or something with a drop down. Yeah. No, I've sorted it. I've not been on the desktop one for ages. Right, let me. Gemma, the only cheap way I know of is buying them as saplings and growing them. I know, but that's not going to help me this year. Might help me next year. Yeah, I know. I've looked at. I've googled it actually. I did find a place online that sells 3-foot ones. So they're not going to be very big for this year. For like 60 quid each delivered. It's like £120. And I was like, that's not bad. That's not bad. But like being a bit impatient, like I say, I'm happy to spend a couple hundred quid. That £100 a tree. I just don't want to spend £500 for 2 trees. You know, I'm fully aware they're not cheap. I'm fully aware they're not cheap. Anyway, the hunt will go on. I need to just go on. I might actually. There's a guy in the village that does he's like a gardener, but he has outside his house. He has like a little, just on the front of his drive. Really, he does little plants and stuff in summer. I always see him knocking around the village. I might just flag him down and ask him. He'll know because he'll have. What I'm trying to say is, like, where does that garden centre that's selling them trees at 250 quid? They bought them for £100 from somewhere. They bought them from somewhere and then they whack a load of profit on it, don't they? What I want to know is, where do they get them from? Why can't I go there? And why can't I go there? That is what or I just go into like up to Beacon Fell or Troffer Bowland and dig 2 trees. Don't report me. I won't be doing that. But like National Lampoons when he comes back with that massive tree and then it ends up with a squirrel in it. They're not coming in the house. They are going out of the house. Anyway, yeah, I just refuse. Kevin, by the way, good morning on YouTube. Yeah, I just refuse to spend like 500 quid on 2 trees. That ain't happening. That just ain't happening. Not happening whatsoever. Go to Costco. Why do they do trees? I was thinking that this time of year. Like, how many places are doing like more evergreen trees, as it were? Like, to be fair, when I went and had a look at the garden centres, it was August. It was red hot, and I was like, maybe it's not the right time of year for because they've still got all the plants and stuff out. This time of year, they'll be gone, won't they? Maybe I need to go and have a little mooch around. I'm going to go to the range tomorrow. They have a bit of a garden centre outside. We'll have a look there. Right, let me. His new check okay to use. Fantastic. Great for tracking your calories. Really, really good. Best calorie tracker on the market for me. It's not just the fact it's the best calorie tracker on the market. The team behind are superb at NutriCheck. You can literally. So let's say you go and grab an item today, right? So, and you scan it into your app, but it comes up as 180 calories, yet the nutritional label on the packet says it's 160 or it's 200. Instagram them, take a picture of it, send it on Instagram, they'll update it pretty much there, like within an hour. Like, they'll just update it. They are so good at doing stuff like that. I did it the other week. Double cheese is my fault. A double cheeseburger from McDonald's used to be 420 calories. Right, and recently, I think it's since they changed the way they cook it, where they put onions in it and fry it in onion or something. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, the calories have now changed to 200 to 452, right, for a double cheeseburger. And I've been tracking a double cheeseburger from McDonald's for about 6 months on NutriCheck at like 1 1/8 or something, or changing the grammage to make sure it's 452, so I'm accurate. Anyway, the other week I just messaged him saying, "Aya, I've got a list of a few bits and pieces, and can you check?" And they altered it within an hour. So unfortunately, if you now try, I say unfortunately, if the calories are going in here, it needs to be right in your app. If you go check a double cheeseburger now on NutriCheck, it's 452, not 420. You know. So yeah, NutriCheck's a really good app, and the team behind it is fantastic. So if you ever notice anything or you scan something and it's not in the app, just Instagram them. They'll update it so quickly. They're really, really good. Really, really good. Because at the end of the day, foods change. And you think how many different foods there are in supermarkets that come out, new foods that come out all the time. It is a seriously big job to keep on top of it. And, unless they've got people out there telling them, I need to message them actually, because the beef dripping Yorkshire pudding, yeah, this is what I do. The beef dripping, I know my calories. The beef dripping, let me do Aldi. Selected 6 large Yorkshire puddings with beef dripping are in NutriCheck at the moment at 145 calories. I think they've made them slightly, they've made them slightly smaller because they're now 117 calories. Why have they made them slightly smaller? Because instead of increasing price, we'll reduce size, right? So you still getting the same price, but you're getting less product. Now, don't get me wrong. For me, I don't really care because it saves me a few calories, and Yorkshire pudding is a Yorkshire pudding. But I understand people might think that's a little bit. But companies have done that for years. You look now at a tub of chocolates at Christmas, right? And like a tub of chocolates at Christmas has been £5 or £4 to £5 forever and a day, hasn't it? 10 years ago, you used to get 650 grams of chocolate. I think now you get 475 or something. Right, so they kept it the same price, so you feel like you get the same value, but they've reduced the size. So, a Aldi Yorkshire pudding is now like 48 grams instead of 60, which means it's 117 calories, not 145. But NutriCheck haven't updated yet, because unless who notices these things? Neil, they should have me. They should have me as a consultant for NutriCheck. All right, I'll tell them all these. I'd do it myself if I could. I actually asked them that. I said, "Can I have access to your database? Because I'll update it myself if you." They were like, "Fair enough." Yeah, the mega bags of crisps nowadays are half full. Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, it is. It's just they just reduced it, but when you're on a weight loss journey, in my eyes, I just see it as better portion control. Yeah, I'm not getting 60 grams of Yorkshire pudding. I'm getting 48 grams of Yorkshire pudding. It's still a bloody good Yorkshire pudding. It's not costing me any more money. And it's saving me 30 odd calories on my tea. I'll take it. It's all right. I'll take the trade-off. It's fine. Would you say your exercise calories on NutriCheck for weight loss? No. So when you're tracking any calories, the calories you are sticking to should include your average steps and average exercise, right? We don't add calories on. We don't have higher calorie days on the days we exercise. The days where we're a bit more sedentary, we don't have lower calorie days. Why? Why should we not have this association of the more I move, the more I can eat, the less I move, the less I eat? Because there's always going to be days where you want more calories, but you don't move very much. Likewise, there's always going to be days where you move loads, but you don't need loads of calories. Exercise does not increase your appetite. In the short term, it suppresses appetite, right? Exercise suppresses appetite. I can go to the gym, Hank Marvin, or certainly feeling hungry, right? And as soon as I start training, it suppresses it, right? So now I always eat after training because I fuel my body. I very rarely eat when I'm absolutely starving. I eat when I'm hungry, but sometimes I eat. I always say this, there's a fine line. You shouldn't eat for the sake of eating, But likewise, I know that I'm better off eating little and often to control my own appetite. I'm better off eating when I'm not starving. Sometimes when we eat when we're starving, we can't control our eating, right? We can overeat. Yeah. So I tend to, today I've had my yogurt bowl at 9:30. I'll probably have lunch at 12. Will I be starving at 12? No. Will I be like still stuffed from my yogurt bowl where I'm like, oh no. But I'll eat it. So I've eaten at 9:30, at about 9:15. I'll eat at 12. I'll have a shake at about 2:30. I'll have my tea tonight, probably a bit earlier at about 5:30, right? And then I'm going to have some evening snacks, probably at about 8:00, right? So I eat little and often. And I just find it a great way of controlling appetite. Most people do, right? Going long periods of time without eating can really ramp up like cravings. It can ramp up our hunger hormones, and it can make it very hard to control. When you're in the kitchen, and I did it last night. I tracked it. It's all in my app. I came in last night and I was starving. I'd had a little bit of protein porridge that I was reviewing for worth of calories at about 2:00. And then after that, I went, I worked for a couple of hours. Then I had to go to Next to pick some jeans up for rates. Then I went for a little steam sauna and a swim at Ribby. Then I went for my physio. By the time I got home last night, it was 7:00. So I've not eaten for 5 hours. And I was like starving. And we had a quick tea. I literally made a bacon and egg butty. That was it. Really quick tea. But I was picking while I was waiting because I was so hungry. I was struggling to say no. And my self-control around food is excellent. But Rachel was the same. She come in, she was really hungry, and she's obviously waiting because I was late home at 7:00. And again, Rachel, she's not eating much, and she tracked it, but we had like a multi-pack popcorn that we opened up on Wednesday night, and the other half. So we had a 100-gram bag of popcorn. So, a share pack, 100-gram bag of popcorn. We had 50 grams on Wednesday night, and the other half of the bag was on the side. And we would have sat there munching away. Don't worry, I tracked it. We tracked it as half a bag of popcorn each, and this, that, and the other. But I couldn't say no to it because I was so hungry because I'd gone such a long period of time without eating. So, little and often. But anyway, exercise does not increase appetite. It really, really, not the way we train. All right. Yeah. So someone that might go and run 20 miles, or someone that might, train 6 hours a day or whatever. I was talking to a guy yesterday. I'm going to go and join his gym. It's just opened up in my area. Bill Hodson, he's called. He loves his endurance challenges. Like, he's not doing it. I think he's retired from it because last year he messed his body up a little bit. But last year he pulled a sled from Dublin. Yeah, Dublin to Preston, basically for charity. He raised about 50 grand doing it. And it is literally a pickup truck, like an L200 Mitsubishi. He literally pulled it for 10 hours a day for like 2 weeks. Right? Just his own power, right? Just pulling it from and he started off in Dublin. They went over on the ferry and he pulled it, and then the only and then they got the overnight ferry, and then he got into Holyhead in Wales, and he walked all the way, right? So for me to drive from Holyhead to where I live now is like 3-hour drive, maybe 3.5 hours. He walked it in 10 days, pulling an L200 pickup truck, like 10 hours, 12 hours a day, 12 hours on, 12 hours sleep. Absolutely, he's an absolute machine. Now he trains crazy. Like, honestly, you've never seen anyone. He's an ex-light pro boxer. You've never seen any. He goes to like Blackpool sand dunes, and he'll do 2 hours just running up and down sand dunes. Like that. His mental and physical fitness levels are ridiculous. A bit crazy at times, if I'm being honest with you. But he will eat the way he trains, and that'll be in the morning, and then he'll do weights in the afternoon, and then he'll do some sort of stretching fitness class in the evening or something like that, right? Yeah, his appetite will be ramped up from exercising because he's pretty lean. He's very muscular and he's pretty lean. If you're overweight, You do not need to eat any more fuel for exercise, right? So get out of this. Well, and I do get clients that come on board, like, are the days where you like to eat more? Yes, when I go to the gym. I'm like, look, what do you mean you want to eat more? What, an extra 250 calories? You've got to spare 250,000 calories sat in your body. You don't need 300 calories of food to go in there to fuel you for your weight loss. If you're 5 stone overweight, you've got 250,000 extra calories sat in your body. You don't need to eat them, right? You do need to eat, but you don't need to eat extra for exercise. Yeah. Lee Richardson, good morning, mate. So anyway, your calories should include your average steps and your average exercise. Weeks where you do a bit more than your average is a bonus. Weeks where you do a bit less, it'll all work itself out. It's just your deficit's going to be a smidgen smaller that week. So let's say you use one of these Apple Watch, right? Go now. So you want to work out your calories. Go into your health app with the heart, right? Click on steps. Click on 6 months. What were your average steps the last 6 months? 7.2K. Right. So that's your average steps. 7,000 a day. Some days you'll do 10. Some days you'll do 4. But over the last 6 months, and I'm going to base your calories off you doing 7,000 steps a day on average, right? And it's your job to make sure you maintain that. But we'll also probably ramp it up a little bit. Go into your Apple Watch again. Go into the fitness section now. Go into workouts. How many workouts have you done in the last 3 months? Count them up, right? And let's divide it by 13. 13 weeks in 3 months. All right. Go through non-nil. I don't exercise. Fine. I won't put down any exercise sessions. I have done 13 workouts in the last 13 weeks. Right. So you exercise once a week on average. Some weeks you might have done 5 workouts and then you've not gone to the gym for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4, whatever. It's all about averages. I base it. And it's now your job going forward to average 1 workout a week minimum. If we want to ramp it up from there, we'll ramp it up from there. That should be your average. That should be your calorie allowance. You then eat less than that. That's it. So don't have your watch linked to your MyFitnessPal, your NutriCheck. Don't be eating back calories. Don't be going, I've done body pump today and it says I've burnt 750 calories. That means I can go and have 2 bottles of Prosecco. No, because your calorie burn from doing body pump is based off this and they're well optimistic. So you won't have burned 750 calories. No one can burn 750 in an hour. Maybe if you're 30 stone and you walk for an hour. Right? Do you know what? It used to burn 750 calories in an hour. I do like a 40-minute spin session twice a week, and this says I burned 600 calories. 30% optimistic it is. Knock 30% off. 350. Yeah, that's about right. Morning, finally got to check it over since about June. Hannah, brilliant stuff. I will update it. We'll class it as a bit of a restart one. Because I don't know where. To be fair, Hannah, recently when you've got a little bit AWOL for a couple of months, you've been doing all right on your own. So we'll see where we're at. Yeah. Not having the best morning. Got a flat tire, but need my medication. Oh, blooming heck. Can't remember actually the last time I had a flat tire. Food weight and water weight from the work meal out. Hang on, what's John answering there? Let me scan down. All right, went well over my calories on my work's Halloween night out on Tuesday. Feel bad for it. Never feel bad for going over calories. Just calories. Why we feel bad for it is, if you feel bad about anything you eat, it's because you've got an unhealthy relationship with food, right? And that's fine, because once we recognize we've got a problem, that's when we can work on it. And at the end of the day, as long as you stayed accountable, you're going to answer your own questions. So, it's one of them. Steps on scales this morning, stayed the same as last week. Wounded. Stop weighing weekly. Pointless. Right? So stop doing that. Yeah. Why would anyone be wounded with a maintain, Anis? Tell me why. Tell me what's bad about maintaining. Because I'm on a weight loss journey, Neil. Yeah. Is maintaining not part of weight loss? Is weight gain not part of weight loss? Because if you didn't gain weight, right, you wouldn't be doing weight loss. At some point in time, every single person on this live now was at a weight they would love to be now. Right? It might have been when you were 6. It might have been when you were 16. It might have been when you were 21. If you had taught yourself to maintain from that point until now, you wouldn't have a weight issue. You'd have never had one. When we maintain, it means we've had control. Just think about what Anis is saying here. He's beating himself up for having a night out, going well over calories and not gaining any weight. Is that not backwards logic? Like, we've had a full night out. I've eaten way more calories than I would do normally on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and I've not gained any weight. Is that not an amazing thing? Why are we not seeing that as an amazing thing? Why are we not seeing that as like, oh my God? So actually, I can, as long as I'm more responsible at other times during the week, I can go and have a fully good night out, eat more calories than I would do normally, and not get fatter. We have to start seeing things like that as positive results. That's a great, it shows you can enjoy life and not be fat. Because at some point in time, we're going to get to somewhere where we don't need to lose weight or we don't want to lose weight. We're happy with where we're at. And the goal then is maintenance. And we need to teach ourselves we can still enjoy life and be on this weight loss journey. Weight loss is not about what a single result gives us. It's about what we do over time. And it's about how we build that into our lifestyle so we don't feel overly restricted, right? Anis could have quite easily gone to his Halloween works meal out, ordered lettuce and drunk nothing but water, right? And lost a pound this week. What's better for the mindset? What's better? What would you enjoy more? Enjoying a great night out with work colleagues, food, drinks, doesn't even need to be alcoholic drinks, just food, a couple of Cokes, maybe a couple of mocktails or something like that, right? And maintaining, or sitting on your works do, absolutely miserable as sin, hating life, just to see a pound loss on the scales. Now, if you're going on works dues every single week, week in, week out, right? So you're maintaining week in, week out, and your overall goal is a weight loss journey. Yeah, I can see that where that might be frustrating. But how often do we have work nights out? Rachel did it the other week. We got back from holiday on the Thursday, Friday morning. And on the Wednesday, it was Tuesday, she had a works trip down south. And she was like, she said, I just can't be bothered with it. I just want a week at home because we've been away. I was like, I get that. Anyway, she's driving down there and she'd gone with one of her directors, Martin, who she's really good mates with. And she was like, oh, me, Matt, and then another director met them down there, Mark. And she was like, oh, we're staying in this pub and we're going to go out for tea. So, and she's like, oh, and she's fighting with it. And I was like, you literally go away for work twice a year, 3 times a year, right? Go out for your tea. The company are paying for it. Enjoy your tea. Have a glass of wine if you want one. Track it the best you can. Be accountable. And if it means at the end of the week you're in a slightly smaller deficit than you want to be, does it really matter? Take advantage of the works flipping credit card. Anyway, she ended up going out for tea. She had sausage and mash, had a pudding, had a couple of glasses of wine. She didn't eat all the tea. She only ate half a pudding. She had a couple of glasses of wine, tracked it all. And at the end of the week, she still ended up well within her calories. So, but it's like, it's every now and then. Now, like I say, if you go away with work every week, right? Or you've got works dues every week, every week my work takes us out. Some companies do that. Like my mate used to run a gas electric sales company, cold calling, basically. And it was business to business sales. So basically they do gas and electric for businesses, not domestic. And they used to have a thing, like part of his pitch for getting staff in, because obviously cold calling and stuff I've done it, it's not the best job in the world. But he used to part of his sale was like on target earnings of 75 grand a year, which was just impossible to hit unless you were flipping, the best salesman in the world. But part of his thing was 2:00 Friday finish, 2 hours in the pub on us. And I'm like, sounds amazing, but for me on a weight loss journey, I'd be like, nah, that's not a benefit. That's not a benefit. Or I would go for it, and it could affect things. But it's every now and then. So it's just a sign of things we need to work on. It's just a sign of things we need to work on. What is the best food to eat after a 96-hour fast? Eat what you want. Stop doing 96-hour fasts. Right? The only people that should fast is if it's down to the religion. Right? Or you've got an operation coming up. Stop doing stupid fast. If I did a 96-hour fast, I would eat pizza, cheesecake, fish and chips. Those would be my favorite foods to eat after doing that. Right, let me and the thing is, just because we don't lose on the scales weigh your weight. They don't weigh your fat. You could easily enjoy a works night out and still be losing body fat. You've just counterbalanced it with an increase of food weight, water weight, especially if it was only 2 days ago, right? So, it's something. Sometimes I've got to talk a bit bluntly because that's sometimes the only way it gets through to people. I absolutely read the right act to a client last weekend. They'd never do it normally. Very, very rare. But this client has started with me for 2.5 years, right? And they were stopping it like, I've just got too much on at the moment. I was like, how many times are we going to make this excuse? I literally had to ask him. And it's not the fact that they're coming off plan with me. It's just because I see when they come on plan how unhappy they are, how this, that, and the other they are. And trust me, I know it's not just a case of eat less and move more. But, I get clients that go through the hardest times, right? And they don't get any results. Sometimes they gain weight back, but they never go anywhere. They stay accountable. They stay at it. And in the end, those clients get amazing results because they don't just quit at every hurdle. And, if you're going to quit at every hurdle, stop moaning about being unhappy about being overweight, right? And that's what this kind of, and I think she's come and gone 4 times in the last 2 years. And I'm like, and she said, but I'll be back next year. And I'm like, what's going to be different? I said, what's going to be different? Like, what is going to change? Or are you just going to send the same thing 3 months, 4 months after being on plan? And I'm just going to send the same, well, I'm not sending the same response this time. I'm going to lay it on the line. And I'm sorry if it triggers you, but I feel I need to do it. And sometimes I get backed into a corner that much with clients. I've got to fight my way out of it. And I mean that because I think sometimes, there's a good few people out there that are still looking for that magic. They're still looking for that magic pass of, I don't need to put any effort in whatsoever and I'll get results. Not happening. Yeah, that ain't happening. Pretty much everyone in this world that's achieved something has put the effort in to get there. The majority of people. And I don't like being like that with a coach. I don't like reading the right act. I don't like, but, to be fair, she responded in the right way. Thank you very much for being honest with me. You're absolutely right. But she then just repeated in the thing the same excuses that she's repeated for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm like, you're just telling me what you think I want to hear, and I don't want to hear it. So, and sometimes it's like that. Right, let me scan down. Eat what you want. Stop doing 48, 96-hour fasts. It's that simple, isn't it? There are no health benefits to fasting. There are no health benefits. Or there's no health benefits worth like what you're doing. People go like, yeah, well, I'm doing a 96-hour fast to detox my body. That's what the liver does. The liver detoxes your body. Your body's, whether you eat anything for 72 hours or not, the body's no more or less detoxed. The liver does that. That's its job, right? It's like your carbon filter on your car or whatever it is, right? The liver does that. The liver detoxes your body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You do not end up any more detoxed by not eating anything, right? The only thing not eating something does is stop your digestive tract running, right? Because if there's nothing going into your stomach, right, there's nothing going through. But then what you're not doing is you're not giving your body nutrition. You're not giving your body proteins, fats, carbs, vitamins, minerals, right? You're not giving your body any of that. you know, all these cancerous cells that we have in our gut. Yeah, you're not eating fiber. Fiber's like a weed, like, you know, like a snowball, right? You see on a cartoon a snowball and they push it at the top of the hill. And as it gets to the bottom of the hill and it's chasing something, it's absolutely huge. That's what fiber does through your gut, right? We've got all these cancerous cells in our gut, right? I'm not trying to panic people. Well, I've got cancer. No, you've not got cancer. You have cells in your gut that are toxins, right? Which can massively increase the risk of things like colon cancer and stuff like that. Well, what fiber does is it goes along, goes, and then you poop it out. So it doesn't sit in your gut. You don't eat for 96 hours. You're not picking up all these toxins. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a severe, it's not like, oh my God, right? Because then, you know, within 4 days, you'll eat fiber and it'll do the job for you. But I'd rather do that on a day-to-day basis than have to wait 4 or 5 days for my body to move toxins out of my gut, right? So it's just these fasting things that people are doing. Will you lose a shed load of weight fasting? Yeah, weight. You'll lose fat because you're being a calorie. You know, I burn 3,500 calories a day, right? So if I did a 96-hour fast, which is not eating for 4 days, I would lose 4 pounds of body fat. On the scales, I might lose 10, 12 pounds because I'm still going to the toilet. I'm still taking stuff out of my system, but I'm depleting my glycogen stores. I'm depleting my water retention. I'm depleting my average food weight. I'm depleting my average water weight. So that's all coming down because nothing's going in, but stuff's still coming out, right? And I'll be in a very severe calorie deficit because I've not eaten anything. But you know, it's a false positive because you'll end up eating again, and your weight will just go. You'll increase your average food weight, average water weight, replenish your glycogen stores, replenish your water retention, and you know, at the end of the day, yeah, you might lose 2 or 3 pounds of body fat, but it's not the way to do it, right? And then you've got to think, what mental torture is it not to eat for 4 days? Because it is mental torture. I don't get anyone says, I've not fasted I've not eaten for 72 hours and I've got the most energy I've ever had. In the words of Carl Pilkington, bullshit. Absolute garbage. Stop lying to us because you're trying to promote some stupid fad diet, right? And not one person in the world has more energy after 72 hours from not eating, right? You might have more energy if all you eat is Alpha Bites and Rustler's burgers, right? You might feel a bit better, right? But nothing will ever give you more energy than a healthy, balanced diet overall. Nothing. Yeah. Right. That's it. I'm going. Do you snack much between meals? Yeah, twice a day. I eat 5 times a day. 3 main meals, 2 snacks a day. Love it. Absolutely love it. I like eating little and often. I like eating I say little and often. Some of you guys might go, no, you eat 600 calorie meals. That's not little. It is I'm 18 stone, 6'5", move loads, right? All calorie allowances are relative to the individual. You know, I burn 3,500 calories a day, so I can eat 2,600 calories a day and lose 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of body fat a week. All right, that's just my circumstance. But calorie consumption is also relative. You know, is relative to calorie burn. You know, if you burn 2,000 calories a day, right, and I burn 3,500 calories a day, right, and I eat 2,600 a day on average. So I eat 75% of my maintenance a day on average. So that is the same as someone burning 2,000 calories a day, eating 1,500 a day. That is my 2,600 is your 1,500 a day if you burn 2,000 calories a day. Yeah, 75%. Now, I don't recommend someone going into a deficit that big, especially if your calories are lower, right? Especially if your calories are lower, right? You know, if you're burning 2,000 calories a day, I put any clients that I have that burn less than 2,000 calories a day or less, they're probably in like I probably put them into an 85% of maintenance deficit, which is about 250 calories a day, half a pound of body fat a week. And if they're like, I want to lose more than that, we'll move more then. Right? Because generally people that are 2,000 calories a day or less are very sedentary. Yeah. Right. That's me. I've got to go. I said I was coming on to about 10:30. I've got loads of check-ins to do, and I'm just sat here waffling on, which is fine. Victoria J, by the way, good morning. I've not said good morning to you on Facebook. It's fine. I don't mind waffling on. I like waffling on. You know that. But I've got work to do. Not that I don't class it. I do class this a little bit as work, you know. Short-term fasting can help stem cells to regenerate. No more, less than eating food. Louise Etherington. Right? You're talking about cell autophagy. Right? And when matched over 24 hours, cell autophagy is better when calories are consumed. It's better than when calories are consumed when calories aren't consumed. Right? So stem cells regenerate every day. Right? You're growing new skin every day. Right? So cell autophagy is not something that stops through eating food. Right? Absolute garbage. Yeah. And cell autophagy is not increased by starving yourself. Right? Nothing improves by not putting fuel in it. How much does your car move with no petrol in it? Think of it like that. Right? How much does a plant grow without sunlight? Right? So if you think a body functions and grows better and repairs itself better without food, let's use a little bit of logic. Honestly, and I mean that sincerely. Yeah, you know? How much does a plant grow without sunlight? Doesn't really, does it? How much does a car move without petrol? Doesn't, does it? You know? So all these people that are trying to get you to do crazy fasting diets will tell you it does this, it does that, it normalizes blood sugars. Your blood sugars normalize every 3 hours anyway, right? Whether you eat or not. Yeah. It stops insulin being released into the body. Correct. Insulin being released into the body is not a negative thing in any way, shape, or form. Right? It really isn't. It's just a hormone that allows any blood glucose to be absorbed into the body to be used as energy. That's it. Right? And yeah, one of the big things you do here is about cell autophagy, which is the regen of cells. Right? Your skin regens every 30 days, but it's constantly growing. You know, when you injure yourself, you bang your knee and it swells up. You've got an injury. You bruise your arm. That's an injury, isn't it? And then over time, your bruise goes from black to yellow because it's healing, it's growing, and you're moving out the damaged blood, right? Which is what a bruise is, right? But just think about it. Do you really think anything on this planet it like grows or repairs or moves more efficiently without fuel than with fuel? Don't make sense, does it? No. I've got nothing to gain by lying because I don't sell a very specific plan and I need to convince people that very specific benefits you will get from this plan, which I don't need to do that. But that's what people that promote fasting plans do. You know, people on carnivore plan, you're never going to sell a carnivore plan unless you convince people that saturated fats aren't actually unhealthy for us if overconsumed. You're never going to do it. So what do? They try and convince people that saturated fats are good, when really overconsumption of saturated fats will lead to an increase in LDL, cholesterol will increase plaque in your arteries and will massively increase risks of long-term cancer and heart disease, short-term pre-diabetes. All right, diets high in saturated fat, right, lead to pre-diabetes, right? Very, very quickly. Your blood sugars can go to a pre-diabetic level very, very quickly if you have diets high in saturated fat, you know? Anyway, there we go. Done and dusted. I'm out for the weekend. I need a rest. I need a sleep. It's all good. I'm gonna get my head stuck into check-ins, guys. I've only got 2 clients started on Monday. If you want to start on Monday, I will be in the office for a couple of hours tomorrow. So if you sign up to my plan today and get your consultation form over today, I will write it up tomorrow and I'll get it out to you tomorrow afternoon and you can start on Monday. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram. Get into my link tree. Click on my shop. Click on monthly one-to-one. It's $29.99 to sign up, and you can start on plan on Monday. I'm trying not to get people to wait at the moment. I've literally got 3 start dates left of 2025. After that, it's January 2026 when you will come on plan. So if you want to get going this side of Christmas, make a bit of progress running into Christmas, certainly with the mental side of weight loss, then come and get signed up and we will get you going. If you go into my link tree, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the first tab on my link tree is an inquiry form, right? So ping over the inquiry form if you just want to touch base with me first to get a few more details. But if you hang about, like, it's fine. You don't need to jump in straight away, right? If you sign up tomorrow, you'll start a week on Monday, all right? The sooner you get signed up, and all the details are on my website anyway. So if you go into my link tree, click on monthly one-to-one plan, all the details are on the website anyway. Just have a read through. But it's just a simple, straightforward plan based around calories and movement and improving your overall diet. And the big thing is you get me as your coach. You get regular check-ins with me. You get access to my WhatsApp 24/7. So if you've got any issues, any queries, I'm always there for you. We've got an online community as well that you can get involved in. Really good support network. It's just a really good place to be if you're on a weight loss journey. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. Ask anyone on the lives. They're all, you know, a lot of the people on the lives are people that are on my one-to-one plan. So yeah, ask them, you know. All you guys on my one-to-one plan, just say it's good. Yeah, I'll knock you 10 off next month's thing. I'm only joking. I don't need to. It's good. It speaks for itself. The amount of weight people have lost. Go check my Instagram stories today. She's not lost all of this with me. But Jane, one of my one-to-one clients, is nearly 12 stone down. Nearly 12 stone down. Absolutely amazing she's doing. Absolutely amazing. How much is it my one-to-one? It's $29.99 sign up and then $29.99 a month for 3 months. So just ask for 3 months commitment. After that, you can cancel whatever you want. It's just a rolling contract. So it's $29.99 sign up and $29.99 a month. I basically put it in line with Slimming World cost. So if you can afford to go to Slimming World, you can afford to work with a one-to-one weight loss coach in the comfort of your own home. Tailored plan, all the bells and whistles. Yeah. But you don't need to go and see Babs on a Thursday night and get weighed in and get criticised for eating a cherry bakewell. I'll teach you how to eat cherry bakewells, not feel guilty, and consistently lose weight. All right. Guys, I'm out of here. Have a great weekend. Whatever you are doing, enjoy Halloween. Be safe if you go to any firework displays tomorrow. I know there'll be loads knocking about with it being midweek. Enjoy a toffee apple and some parking. Has anyone ever had part? I love part. My nan used to make it. Such an old school cake. I don't think you see it much anymore. Absolutely top tip. I'm going to try and find some tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, just have a great weekend. And I'll be back Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Sat right here. I'll see you then. TikTok, sign off to you first. Facebook, YouTube, I sign